Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Tori, and today we are going to have some real talk about Booktube content creation. Now, I've been thinking about doing a video like this for a while where I just talk a little bit about my process of how I run my channel, my do's and don'ts, and my non-negotiables, and how I decide what to make for content, all that kind of stuff, but I didn't really ever have the right way to articulate it or where I wanted to start until this last couple of days. I've been watching some videos by my good friends John and Jacob over at Talking Story, linked down below, and they had a great tag that kind of laid out some behind the scenes questions about their channel, and they kind of used that to inspire the discussion, which I thought was really brilliant. And when I looked through the questions, I thought, perfect, let's start there. So the first question is, when I make a video, do I read from a script? Do I just improv everything? Do I refer to notes? And the easy answer to that is yes. I don't script most of my videos unless it's a heavier topic that requires a little bit more intentionality with how I want to talk about the topic at hand. For example, when I've done videos like sexual violence and fantasy, or do booktubers actually read the books that they are saying they're reading, or how Booktube has changed my reading life. All of those videos, I definitely had kind of a bullet pointed list. I don't ever script anything in the sense that I write out exactly what I'm going to say, because for me personally, that's something that makes me feel very stilted and inauthentic. I know a lot of other content creators who use that method who do a really, really good job at it. I'm just not one of those people, and it's easier for me to kind of give myself little reminders through the video of what I wanted to say and then just improv the rest. The second question is, do I edit before I post? Do I edit out misspeaking moments, messed up sentences, if I addressed a topic in the wrong way, or if I feel like something's going to be misconstrued? And the easy answer to that is yes, I do edit all of my videos. I'm sure for most of you who watch my videos, you can see the edit cuts as I'm going along. When I am in a really high energy state, like I am when I'm filming videos, I typically stutter, stammer, misspeak a little bit more than I do in regular conversation. And so I do go back and edit out sometimes entire sentences where I will stop myself if I'm really getting off the rails, and I will redo the whole sentence. And it's actually easier to edit that way. If you mix up a word somewhere in a long sentence, just start the sentence over again, because your editing self will thank you later. When it comes to things that I've said that I think might be taken out of context, I do go back and pull those every once in a while if I feel like what I said doesn't represent what I wanted to get across, or if I feel like it's too easy to be taken out of context and I didn't give enough, enough extra information or context for it to make sense. When it comes to things that I say that I might have When it comes to things I might say that I think could be taken out of context, I do occasionally delete those out of my videos as I'm editing, mostly because the most common... When it comes to things that I've said in a video that I think might be taken out of context, there are some things that I have pulled from my videos in hindsight as I'm editing, simply because usually what I said doesn't translate to what I meant. And that's typically the most common reason. When it comes to things that I might take out or edit from my videos that I'm afraid might be taken out of context or didn't have enough, wow, I can't say this line. This is a great example of me editing, and I'm actually going to leave part of this in here to give you guys a little bit of a look into me trying to get my thoughts together on camera and then having to go back and edit afterwards. When I remove something from my videos that I'm maybe worried that it might get taken out of context, the most common reason for that is typically because I don't think what I said matches what I meant, and I want to make sure that I'm representing my thoughts correctly to my audience, and I'll go back and kind of re-listen a few times just to make sure, yep, that is what I meant, and I articulated it in a way that I think is going to come across the way I want it to. But yeah, because I improv a lot of what I say during my videos, I do edit a lot in hindsight, and I very much admire my fellow booktubers who can sit down and make a video in a single take. I don't know how you guys do that. I'm incredibly impressed by that. If you're one of those people, wow, like that's amazing, truly. That's just not something that I think I'd ever be able to do, maybe, but as I'm in the middle of talking, sometimes I'm like, ooh, but there's a better way to say that, or I kind of misspoke there, I want to back up and try it again. The next question is, have I ever edited a video after posting or deleted an entire video? Yes. Editing typically, especially in the earlier years of Booktube, I had to make some adjustments because of music that the copyright claims changed, or there was some kind of mix up with that where I had to take that section of music out of the video. That's the most common one. I haven't had to do that for a long time because I've changed how I add music into my videos, and YouTube's gotten a little bit better about that as well. The second one is, have I deleted anything? I haven't deleted any videos, maybe a couple of my very, very first videos on Booktube. I've left most of them because I do think that those older videos are still valuable and really show the journey that I've been on as a content creator, but there have been a couple of videos that I just didn't feel reflected the type of channel that I wanted to be, and there was one that I made in response to a community issue last year that I did move to unlisted. And that was a very specific reason for me. The reason for that one being removed was because it got the most views of any video on my channel the fastest. And the message that I had in the video was intended for my audience, my subscribers. And as soon as it started moving past that very, very quickly, that was beyond the intention of the video. I didn't want it to be something that spurred further conversation and all of that, so I just moved it to unlisted because the message got to the people that I wanted it to get to, and that was enough for me. That gives us a perfect segue into question number 4, which is, are there any topics that are too personal, too controversial, that I won't talk about on my channel? Yes. I have a pretty solid no politics rule on my channel because this is a space for me that is a sanctuary from a lot of what's going on in the world around me. And I've really, really needed that space, and I think a lot of us here on Booktube also need that space, and it's such a great reminder in our community that so many people from so many different backgrounds and walks of life and choices of what they like in reading can come together and have these beautiful discussions and disagree without disrespecting each other, and there's a lot of really good things in the community that I've really valued. Another thing I don't do on my channel too much is rant videos, and I know that they get a ton of views and that people really respond to rant videos, and I can completely understand why, but that's just not something that I want to perpetuate. Now, I do make videos where I will talk about books that I didn't like. I talk about popular series that I've DNF'd or a book that really did not work for me, but I try really hard to approach it in a way that isn't just angry and ranty, if that makes sense, because that's just not the kind of content creator that I want to be. And even though those videos do get a lot of attention, I don't feel like it's the kind of attention that I want, if that makes sense, on my channel and the community that I've built, so I typically avoid those as well. But yeah, there's a few genres that I avoid, but that's kind of getting a little bit more specific, and if you guys have been watching my channel, you probably know what those are anyways. So yeah, those are kind of the big ones for sure. Question number 5, do my videos include any kind of graphics or enhancements, etc., etc.? Yes, I've actually had a lot of fun the last few years learning more about video editing and kind of studying a little bit about my favorite videos on YouTube and what makes them fun to watch, and just kind of taking notes and figuring out what aspects of that I can bring into my own channel when I have time. I definitely don't have time to edit to the level that I would like to for my videos, just because I'm a very busy mom, I am a writer, I have, you know, the channel, I have a lot of time commitments outside the home, so it is hard for me to spend as much time on editing as I would like to, but I do try to make them visually interesting, and I try to add graphics and edits and things like that on certain videos if I feel led to. And if I don't, that's okay. I don't put pressure on myself to edit a certain way with all of my videos. I just try to do a good job and make them as clean as possible at bare minimum. And then past that, it's whatever I have time and interest to do. Number 6, do I have a target number of videos that I try to put out every week? Yes. So you guys have probably noticed that I do 2 videos a week, typically speaking. I used to do 3 videos a week back in like 2023, 2024, and that was a lot. That was so much. I felt like I was doing nothing but filming and editing, and that was it. And it was chewing into my reading time a lot, and it was taking me away from my family too much. And even with 2 videos a week, that is a lot. And so at some point I may drop back down to 1 video a week. We'll see. But yeah, I do it because I love it, so it's not like I feel obligated to put out a certain number of videos a week, and I have actually backed off a lot in the last year and a half on forcing myself to make videos just to please the algorithm. If I haven't got a video for the second post that week, it's okay, I'll be back next week. And I'm also getting a lot better at taking breaks when I need to, because I've learned that I'm a better content creator, I'm a better mom, I'm a better person in general when I give myself that space to say, wow, this was a really heavy week. I just need a little bit of a break because I don't feel like being on camera right now. And that's something that has changed my relationship to content creation for the better. Number 7, are there themed videos that I contribute to regularly? I mean, I've tried pretty much everything over the years. I do a TBR game right now that's been really fun. I do the monthly wrap-ups. I do tags every great once in a while, not too often. If there's something that I'm really excited to sit down and film, then I will do it. If it doesn't fit the vibe of my channel, or if I'm not that excited to make it, then I don't push myself to make that kind of content. So yeah, it really just depends on what strikes me in terms of inspiration and how excited I am to make that type of a video. Okay, this next question I need to read off of the paper because it's really long and there's like 6 questions in here. How important to you is the number of your subscribers? Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? If you don't hit your target, would you consider dropping out of Booktube? Are your videos designed to attract new subscribers? Are you distressed if you lose subscribers? Okay, we need to break that down. Hold on a minute. So the first question is, how important to me is the number of subscribers? I'd be lying if I told you it didn't matter at all. Obviously, seeing the channel grow exponentially this last year and a half has been incredibly rewarding, and I'm so grateful for the support from all of you guys. It is an amazing audience to have, and I get very excited when I post new videos to see what kind of comments you guys are going to leave and your thoughts on whatever it is that I'm talking about that day. It's really cool. So that, in that sense, it does matter. When it comes to, oh, like I want to have this many subscribers or else, no, definitely not. I do this largely because I love it, and as a secondary reason, it helps to boost my publishing fund for my own indie published books, and that's basically the main reasons why I do this. But it's also because there's a sense of community here that I think is really important, and I love being a part of that, and I love getting excited about reading with other people. I think that's such an important part of our society, and I'm thrilled to be able to contribute to that in any small way. Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? Honestly, I thought 10,000 subscribers was a pie-in-the-sky pipe dream. If I'm being totally real with you guys, I never thought I would hit it. I never thought I would hit 10,000 subscribers, and I am completely blown away that we have a community of, as of today, like 12,000 people. You guys are amazing. I don't know how that happened, and I'm just thrilled that you enjoy hanging out on my little corner of Booktube. I really appreciate that. So that was kind of my like, oh, someday if I'm like a really big booktuber, I'll have 10,000 subscribers. And we reached that this year, and I don't really know past that. Like, I never really let myself go farther than that mentally. So at this point, I'm just here for the ride, and I'm excited to see how much the channel grows in the future, but I don't have a specific number that I'm trying to get to. I'm just celebrating every milestone as it comes at this point. So no, if I don't reach that target, I won't be dropping out of Booktube. That's not why I'm here. And you know, I enjoyed making videos when I had 100 subscribers. I enjoyed making videos when I had 1,000 subscribers. And now that I have 10,000, 12,000 subscribers, I still enjoy making videos. So that's not why I'm here. And the only reason I would ever consider dropping out of Booktube is if it just was cutting away too much of my family time and I couldn't keep it going, because we have 3 kids and they're very active right now. They're at an age where they're involved in quite a few things, and we're homeschooling, so that takes up a lot of my time and energy, and that will always be my priority. So as long as Booktube coexists peacefully with my family life and it doesn't drain too much of my time and energy, I will still be here. And also, I do feel like, personally, as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, if there ever comes a point where I am just really struggling and I don't want to make videos anymore, and you know, the anxiety gets to be too much or whatever it is, then I will consider stepping down. But at this point, I don't have any plans for that anytime in the future. Are my videos designed to attract new subscribers? Yes and no. Again, I make content that I'm excited about, so any video that I put out is something that I'm passionate about, that I want to talk about, otherwise I won't post it. I do think about new subscribers, and if they're watching this video for the first time, what kind of a person do I want them to meet in me, and like, what kind of experience do I want them to have on the channel? And that kind of goes back to the type of content that I want to make, right? And giving them a chance to get excited about our community and the topics that I address here on my channel. So I do think about that, but I think about my existing audience just as much or more to make sure that I'm producing content that will appeal to people that already watch my videos and also people that might be stopping by the channel for the first time. Am I distressed if I lose subscribers? I mean, not really. I completely respect that people come and go, that they might, you know, really love a channel for a while and then their tastes might change, or they might decide that something else fits what they're looking for better. All of that is completely fine. If somebody has an issue with or is offended by something I say, you know, I respect their choice to leave as well. That's completely fine. And so, not really. To say it doesn't affect me at all wouldn't be true, but I don't think that it affects me negatively enough that I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I losing subscribers? What happened? I mean, if I lost like thousands of subscribers over a video, I would definitely ask why and try to figure out where I went wrong. But at the end of the day, I stand by the content that I make, and if that works for my audience, awesome. And if they want to move on and watch something else, that is also completely fine. Number 9 is, do I always respond when tagged? I try. As the channel has gotten bigger, this is actually one of the things I struggle with the most now, is I get tagged a lot in a lot of different videos, and I really do my best to watch the video and comment back if I'm able to. There are so many comments that I get on my videos, which I love. One of my favorite parts of my channel specifically is that the engagement has been so consistent and vibrant here on the ToriTalks channel, which has been great. And I still respond, whether it's just, you know, the heart or comment on everybody's comment. I do try to respond to absolutely everybody. And as the channel's grown bigger, that has gotten harder and harder because there's just so many things to respond to. And I never want anyone to feel like I'm ignoring them or that I didn't see their comment. But there will probably come a point in the future where I just physically will not be able to respond to everybody. And I dread that, to be honest, because I don't like that idea at all. I love being able to chat with everybody. So yeah, I'm still in there. I'm still responding to everything as much as I can, but it is a lot. There's a lot of engagement on this channel, which is such a good problem to have, and I love that you guys have created such a vocal community in the comments, because that's something that I really value, and I love I read through everything. I can promise you that. Even if I don't respond to a lengthy degree, I read everybody's comment, and I really appreciate that you all are so invested in the channel and want to talk. And the last question about my behind the scenes process is, have I ever blocked anyone from viewing or commenting on my videos? Yes. And I think this is one that, this is a really tough line, if I'm being honest, as a content creator, that I've had to learn, especially as the channel is getting bigger. I do get more troll comments. Most of the time, if it's somebody that's just being a troll, I'll kind of like, you know, respond with something just trying to like diffuse it or kind of shut it down. But I have blocked a few people that were just intentionally being antagonistic and provocative, and I don't feel the need to encourage that on my channel, because I don't think that that's the kind of community that we have. And the other thing that I'll say about this is something that I think a lot of female creators go through potentially more, and that is just the unwanted gross attention that we get sometimes. And I have definitely blocked some creeps on this channel. I get emails, I get messages, I get comments that are incredibly inappropriate, and yeah, so there's definitely been a rise in that as the channel has gotten bigger, which is to be expected. And thankfully, I have a wonderful community that goes to bat for me in those comments more often than not. So half the time, I'm not even the first person to respond to those people. And I really appreciate that you guys have my back and that you are willing to jump into the ring with me when that happens, because that really does a lot to encourage me to keep making videos, to know that I have at large a fantastic, supportive, amazing group in my audience. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And it's a sad fact of life that there are people out there who, you know, are willing to spend their precious time in life either attacking or being inappropriate with somebody that they don't know on the internet. Yeah, and honestly, my message to the people that do post those kind of things on my channel or send me messages that are wildly inappropriate, I hope that at some point you want better for yourself. I really do, because life is a very precious thing, and wasting it by posting aggressive, antagonistic, or inappropriate things on the internet is not going to benefit you in any way, and I genuinely want better for you than that. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, that is a little bit of information about my process of content creating, how I go about making my videos. Please let me know your favorite type of content to watch on Booktube. Let me know what you'd love to see more of. Anything you want to share about this topic, I'd love to hear. And you guys are the best. Honestly, I am so grateful for the audience that I get to make content for. I love it, and I really appreciate that we get to be part of this community and we get to talk about books that we all love, no matter where we're from or who we are, and that's a really beautiful thing. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope that you are reading some 5-star reads, and I will see you in the next video.